Hi everyone, I'm Alexandra. It's nice to see you again. It's been a while. I thought it had been like 1 month since I last filmed. It was 3 months apparently when I checked today. But it's okay. I hope you've been doing good. I've been doing amazing, which is why I haven't filmed, because I've been too busy. When I haven't been busy, my mindset has been, I don't know. Life's been good. Met Katia at a bar. You know, things are just going good. Knitting. If you compare this year to last year, I made a lot more stuff last year. I was doing nothing but knitting when my hands would hurt. Not this year. And I haven't lost the spark. I always say that knitting is just something that's a part of my life forever, I think. But I guess the inspiration has maybe not been there so much. I haven't been completely obsessed with everything I've been knitting, but it's still a part of me, so that's how it's gonna go, you know? Forever. Knitting is still amazing. It's still fun. We're still gonna talk about it. And I wrote down everything that I think I haven't talked about. And there are some things, like my nata dress, for example. I think I've just mentioned the yarn for it, and I never talked about it for some reason. And that's like a huge project that I made in August. But if there's something that from Instagram, follow me there, because that is where I'll update. I feel like if you follow me on Instagram, I'm sorry, you know a lot more than if you just see this. So I will always upload things I'm knitting on there when I'm not posting on here. So if there are some things you don't see in here, it will be included in an everything I knit that I will probably upload next year. So while we're doing this intro, when I haven't gotten into projects yet, updates about this channel thing is that I'm going on a trip over Christmas. So Christmas is next week. How is that even? I don't know. We went to the north of Sweden and the north of Finland in September. It was amazing, and we decided to do it again over Christmas. I'm going back to Rovaniemi. I'm going back to my Finland. It was so much fun. And we're also going to Luleå. So I will be bringing the camera with me for that. The thing I'm knitting on right now is because of that trip. And I'm just gonna show you, and we're gonna talk about it more later, but this is Lumme by Sara Nordlund. Okay everyone, when I'm recording this voice thing, it's Saturday the 16th, and I filmed this on Thursday. And at that point, I did not know that today I would accidentally felt my lumme. It is the size of a kid sweater. This is such a shame, because I tried on the lumme this morning when it was finished, and it was beautiful. I'll tell you all of this when I have jumped on the plane and I have some time to talk to you in Finland in my next video. But until then, rest in peace, Lumme by Sara Nordlund. My first ever colorwork project. Are you proud of me? The thing is, it looks so good on camera. It looks good in real life, but it looks like a painting on camera. And I'm knitting on the second sleeve. Okay, that's for later. But I will be filming that trip because like snow, Christmas, everyone liked my last Christmas video. I'm gonna be trying to see the Northern Lights. We're going to Finland. No, I need to film that. Hello. I know we usually do photo booth for these things, but my photo booth wasn't working. So I'm coming in hot on my iPhone. The issue is I don't really know where to look. I forgot to tell you something that I can't believe I forgot to tell you. So I'm putting it here in the intro. My brother has bought a home, so he's moving away. Why I'm telling you this is that this all means that there will be a room available. Do you know where I'm going with this? I've already bought a couch where I can sit. I've already bought a new yarn cabinet that is my dream yarn cabinet that when I saw it I cried, and a yarn room is happening in 2024. And I will include you on that. Like, you will not be able to escape it. I will make a green yarn room where I will have a designated filming spot where I will be knitting and vibe. I was gonna say both slaying and vibing, and I regretted everything. But yes, just I needed to let you know that, because that is I'm planning, I'm preparing, and yes, enjoy the rest of this video of me and my rambling, I guess. And I'll see you soon again. I promise I will not be gone this long this time. Mwah! Love you. So the first project that I want to talk about is my cardigan clutch, my winter clutch in like this Cartier neon green color that I made for the concert in October. I did finish it in time. I wore it to the concert, but it has a little surprise on the inside. I tried to embroider taxiton uppe i halla, which means the taxis in the yard, something like that. Finnish people, let me know. It's something Cartier sings in the beginning of his songs. Yeah, I love it. The winter clutch is such a good pattern. Laura Penrose knits. Maybe no, she just goes by Laura Penrose now, from the Knitting Pickle podcast. She messaged me saying that she wanted to make a winter clutch. We talked about it and she finished it so quickly when she decided to knit it because it's so fun. I do have one on the needles that I showed you in my last video that I have not been knitting on at all because I do not want to, but I think I don't know, it might happen. But yeah, I truly recommend that pattern. It does get a bit expensive if you buy like the clutch from Petit Knit, the chain, all of that. I personally think it's worth it because it's something you really get use out of. I feel like you would get more use out of that than a sweater, at least for me. I think my original gray winter clutch I did in the beginning of this year, or like the end. I think I finished it on New Year's Eve, so it's like in that middle ground of 2022 2023. I remember raving about it then. I will rave about it now. It's such a fun project. I thought it would take forever. For me, it did not. It was fun. So recommend. If everyone wants to do a cal at some point of next year, I don't know if people are interested in making the winter clutch, but if you are, let me know because maybe we can finish mine and yours together. Summan av kardemumman, as we would say in Swedish. I will make another winter clutch. I will never embroider again. I probably will. I was obsessed with embroidering when I was a kid, but that broke me down. And it's not very pretty. I had this vision of like opening the bag and showing Cartier and him being like, oh my god, you're such an artist. Did not open the bag once. So my second thing that I have finished since we last talked is a green sweater. I call it clover sweater when I think about it because it's knitted with clover green from Knitting for Olive and 2 strands of the merino, no mohair. I work at a yarn store called Sexton Node. It has all of the Knitting for Olive colorways, and I've been obsessed with clover green ever since it came out. It's the perfect green. You have to understand that when you work in a yarn store, it's like, it has helped me a bit with not buying as much yarn because you're surrounded by it, you know, and it's like, I can't explain it, but it's also doing the opposite. So at some work days, this has happened with 2 different yarns. My pink balloon cardigan yarn, I finished that too, and this green yarn where I would see it one day at work and decide I need to knit with it, and every second I was not knitting with it was horrible. It was a very impulsive decision. At the time I think I had a test knit for Maria. I don't know, I remember me thinking this is not a smart decision, but I just need to knit with this colorway. So it's clover green by Knitting for Olive, and I originally made a swatch and started knitting with 1 strand of the mohair and 1 strand of the green. The mohair is beautiful and it looks great, but I have this one issue that I cannot pretend to be okay with anymore, and it is the white silk strand in mohair. I cannot do it. It's something about it. Sometimes it's okay, but sometimes it's just not for me. Like, it's not that big of a deal, but for me it's like one of my pet peeves with knitting, that I love mohair, but the white silk strand in some colorways is just So the Knitting for Olive mohair in that color has it, so I decided to go with 2 strands of merino instead, and I love it. I'm so glad I did that. It's always good to have a sweater that is not mohair. I just think that with 2 strands of merino instead, it made it look like the color itself got to stand out, but if you use the mohair, it gets this like in between nice fluffy thing. That's not what I was going for. I needed that green color that I was obsessed with, you know? The pattern I used for it, it's a bit weird. I cast it on with the help of the bird sweater. Ended up like 5 rows in, switching it up, doing 2x2 rib, split hem, not following the pattern. So it's kind of a mix of everything, and I love it. It has a split hem. I know some people hate split hems, but I'm not one of them. One of my favorite knits for sure, but it is amazing. So recommend trying to knit with 2 strands of merino. I know it's been a thing this year to do that and just knit with merino. Try it, it's amazing. The next thing is the sand cardigan. Oh, If you see my videos, you already know about this thing. I've been waiting on this cardigan for forever. So this was a test knit for Ulla Knitwear, Maria, my friend. And yeah, we've been talking about this since February when we talked about this yarn. She let me know that she's obsessed with it. I'm like, I'm obsessed with it too. She's like, what, should I make a cardigan? And I'm like, yes. And it finally happened. The yarn is Aran Tweed that was gifted by Hozier. And both me and Maria agreed that the sand colorway that I used and that she used, we just wish it was a bit like more white in the undertone and not so much beige, because we both don't really use beige colors. It's still okay, that's why I love it in a cardigan. If it was a sweater and it was like up to my face like this, the sand colorway, it would just wash me out. But since you can like wear a white tank top, a black tank top, whatever underneath, it looks great. I also test knitted the sand pillows by Ulla Knitwear around the time I went to Luleå, I believe in September. And I used the brown Aran Tweed and also the sand colorway. And the sand colorway, I just think you need to try it and see it in real life. In pictures, it's gorgeous, but in real life, it's something about that tweed. I've never thought that I wanted to knit with tweed before, because I've just seen those yarns where the tweed is like on the outside, you can kind of like pull it out. You can't really do that with this. It kind of just melts into the yarn and kind of gives that like Noro, but also like hand-dyed speckles feeling. Obsessed. Maria told me in the beginning of the year when she was talking about this yarn how rustic it is, and at that point I was not a rustic girl, but I was like, it's fine, I'm gonna whatever. I've started loving rustic yarns. I don't view it in the same way anymore. Like when I feel a rustic yarn, it still feels soft. It depends, of course, but like Blåne by Jeholtz, Ullspinneri, Aran Tweed, Let Loopy. I love it, and I want to knit more with that for sure, because when I wear the sand cardigan you cannot feel it at all, but just if you're sensitive, Aran Tweed is very rustic, but it blooms beautifully when you block it. And the drape that the cardigan got, like there's so much yarn. I think the Aran Tweed is like 80 meters or 100 meters per 100 grams. I don't know. The yarn itself feels pretty thin, and when you knit it up, it just like there's so much yarn. I don't remember how many. What am I doing? I don't remember how many skeins I used, but it was a lot. Like I think I got like 16 of them from Hozier. But after washing, it's so beautiful. Like the drape, it feels so light. I did not make the full length version that the pattern is. Like it's a ankle length cardigan. I made it like to my knees. When I've thought about the sand cardigan, like here's the vision: knee-high boots, a black tight little skirt, and like the cardigan on top. So definitely one of my favorite things from this year that I've knitted. I have Aran Tweed left over, and I bought some Aran Tweed, and I'm thinking of maybe doing a zipper sweater with that. Speaking of zipper sweater, I casted on a zipper sweater in, I feel like it was summer or the end of summer, with the yarn from the yarn store that I was gifted in the beginning of the year. That was first going to be a sweater number something by My Favorite Things Knitwear. It did not work out. It's the broken rib one, and I was struggling trying to find a project for it, and then I came up with the zipper sweater, and it's been an on and off project since like the end of summer, and I just got this need to finish all of my whips before the new year. Not all of them, like for example my cardigan cardigan and my Carpe Diem sweater, my Joker Out sweater. They're not finished, but I'm going to Eurovision next year. I have my tickets, I have my place to stay, and I will be knitting, hopefully, I don't know if this is gonna work, but I want to make at least those two and something else like Eurovision themed to wear. But so I'm letting those just hibernate. Is that what it's called? Like I'm just leaving them for a little bit, but all of those things that I casted on this like late summer, early fall, I just wanted them all to be finished, and we did it. Yesterday I finished one of them that I'll be talking about next. But my zipper sweater, I was like, okay, if it's this pattern, I really want to knit up this yarn. It's a beautiful, gorgeous color. It's Dusty Olive by Knitting for Olive. I was just working on it on and off. And when I finished it, I tried it on and I was so obsessed. And I finally understand the hype with the zipper sweater. I was like, I'm never gonna use that. But no, it's so cozy. It's like if I get very warm, I can just zip it up and then I can just close it. Like I wore it on a walk yesterday. Perfect walking sweater. One of the reasons why it took me so long to finish knitting it is because I knew that I wanted to block it before sewing in the zipper. And I was just scared of sewing in the zipper. I did it in one night. I started at 6 p.m. and was up until 2 just because pinning it down, I was just struggling. I'm not a girl who sews at all. But I will say, you know, the Kimi Munkholm, the woman who has all those videos for Petit Knit, love her. But her video, it was just something about that with how she pinned down the zipper. It did not work for me. Decided to watch Crea Bea. Shout out Rebecca. And her video, I don't know why, it just like, we move our hands the same way. I don't know. Like her way was just like much simpler. The way she like opened the zipper and pinned it down, it truly helped me. So I would check out both of them and see what works best for you if you're sewing down a zipper. It was still not fun. It's a bit crooked here. Don't care. It is gorgeous, lovely. And then one big thing with it that I have been thinking of for forever, decided it was just not for me. It happened. I don't know the English word for it, but it's centrifugering. It's the one where you put it in the washing machine and it just takes out all the water. I know the Petit Knit does that. Ever since I started knitting, I was not getting any of my pieces anywhere near a washing machine. I was just too scared. And I've always loved blocking. Like just seeing how the stitches bloom. I'm like, I don't want to put it in a machine, let it wash. I don't block a piece just to wash it. That's one of the reasons why I do it. But it's also just to see the stitches bloom. I don't know. But the amount of time I've spent, all these heavy sweaters, like just pressing out the water, never being enough, me giving up, just putting it on a towel, stepping on it, still being water in there, taking days to dry. It's like a workout, like putting it out, pinning it down. I just hit a breaking point 2 days ago where I was pressing out the water and I just went, no. Our washing machine and everything is downstairs. It was dripping down this little staircase. I was not even annoyed. It was just like, no, it's happening. And I just put it in and I just read on Petit Knit's wool wash. It was like 800 spins. I don't know how to speak laundry terms in English, sorry. I put it in there. It was going for 10 minutes. The way I had to go upstairs again and just sit because I was so nervous. I could not be sitting there looking at it. And when I took it out, I can't even explain it. And I had a feeling it would be amazing. But at that point, I was a bit annoyed because it was like, I could have done this before. So this is a sign for you to try it. It's me. I still stand by this statement. Try it with a swatch first. I didn't have a swatch for my lumme. It worked once before with my zipper sweater. It didn't end up working this time. So I'm just going to tell you the issue. What I did with my lumme, I did the same thing as with my zipper sweater, but it was still dripping wet after that. So me and my mom, because I asked for her guidance, we were like, let's put it on 1,000 spins instead. But then I left the house. She forgot to check up on the sweater. Things happened. And things do happen in life and it's okay. But it was in there 30 minutes. Maybe on 1,000 spins. Maybe that's why my lumme felted. But I still don't understand why it was dripping wet and felted at the same time. I don't know why it didn't dry. We know that it works with heavy merino from Knitting for Olive. Do with that what you will. I still recommend trying it out though, but with a swatch. Do not do it like me. Do not just put your sweater in there. Put a swatch first, please. Do not blame this on me if your sweater felts, but it did not felt at all. It had mohair and merino yarn. The mohair is still fluffy, lovely, but it was still wet when I took it out, but it was not dripping. It was just like a lot of the water was out. I could still stretch it. Like I wanted the sleeves to be a bit longer. It was beautiful, but it took 1 day to dry in winter. Like my Marvel sweater last year took days, maybe even up to a week. So I feel like I have been blessed, and this is just something I will continue on doing. One of you messaged me on Instagram and said like, I just do not simply understand how it does not felt. Me neither, but I'm not gonna question it. This is just your sign to try it with a swatch first, because it has changed my life. And for example, the next thing I'm going to talk about, I think that was it with the super sweater, is my Monday sweater junior. My Monday sweater junior that I was just knitting up for my job, the yarn store, just to like show off the yarn. We had like, for me doing swatches, I had this little ball left that I just wanted to knit it up. So I made a Monday sweater junior. I just had this much of a sleeve left in like August and just binding off the body. And it has just been laying for months because I just did not want to do it. You know, it's like I can see the vision. It's already finished. I have this test knit I could do. I have this other sweater I could cast on. So it was just something. But since I decided I wanted to finish all of my whips until the new year, it just happened yesterday. The fact that it took me 2 hours max. So yeah, but my Monday sweater junior is finished. So it will be at Sextagon Node soon. So if you want to check it out, it is knitted with Shangrok mohair in the color, they have super long names, the chrysanthemum and the sword, I believe, with one strand of ice blue merino by Knitting for Olive. It is so soft. So yeah, that one is finished. You don't have to worry. So the next whip is this bad boy. The plan for this, I think this happened at the same time that I was knitting the sand cardigan, test knitting it. I did this yoke in one night. I hyper fixated on it. Kind of just want to hold it like this so you can kind of see it, but I don't want to put it on because I'm knitting on it. This is Lumme by Sara Nordlund, and I was just sitting knitting the sand cardigan, and we had just like booked our Luleå trip, the one I'm going for this Christmas, and we're also going to the north of Finland again. And I was like, you know what would be so iconic? Like, Finland has these types of sweaters, right? Also Norway specifically, with their Islander, all of these traditional things. And we have something called bohuströjor. I don't know a lot about it, but a lot of women have asked about it at our job. And one lady once told me about the bohuströjor. So that is a Swedish type of thing. Sorry, I don't know what I'm talking about. I came up with the idea to either make a traditional Swedish sweater to wear in Norrland. The reason why I don't knit a lot of color work is because I'm not obsessed with it. There are some that I am obsessed with, like the mosaic sweater by Knitting for Olive, the one with little tulips on it or something from Knitting for Olive, that I'm obsessed with. Flowers, pretty things. I saw that the Petite Knitter had one with rabbits on it. Like, that is what I would want to make. Marie Wallin, like, I can see it and it's so beautiful. It's just not something I would wear. If it's an all color work, like the Primrose sweater by Marie Wallin, I would wear that. I would not wear something with just a yoke, which is funny because that's what I did. But I've had this Lumme by Sara Nordlund in my favorites forever on Ravelry, because the picture she has is like with the black and white flowers. That one picture, I was obsessed with it. I was like, if I was gonna knit colorwork, I would knit that. And then I would like look at the other pictures, and I did not really like how I don't know if traditional is the best word to use, but like how color worky it looked with like the big section here on the sleeves. So I wasn't finding like a Swedish designer, a Swedish sweater that I really liked. And I was asking Pernilla, who used to work at Sextagon Node. She is amazing. She's also from Norrland. Sorry, the accent. She's also from Norrland. And I was like, do you have any ideas? And she gave me some tips, and I was like, what do you think about this one? She was like, that one looks great for beginner color work, because that's what I was asking for, because there's not a lot of floats. There are some places where I had to catch floats, and I do not like it. I do not like it. For me, what was confusing with color work, because I watched so many videos about it, was the catching floats part. The like color dominant thing, that your contrast color needs to be on top. I would watch those videos and I would be so confused. And I knit continental, so I would search up how to do a continental. There was one video that made so much sense to me that I will link, because she also used black and white yarn and the white was the contrast. So it was just so like convenient, and she did the thing where with the white color you do English style knitting and then you knit continental. It was pretty slow because my English knitting compared to my continental, so much slower. And for someone like me who really wants to knit quickly, I move fast. I don't want things to take a long time. It was annoying me a bit, but it really made me like be able to have the white on top, be the color dominant, whatever. It made me think like, okay, 3 black, 1 white. Like it really worked out well for me. When I finished the yoke, however, I was a bit worried. I'm gonna show you my floats soon. Because it was not looking this pretty. So I just put on a stitch wire and I blocked it right away because I needed to see if it would bloom, and I stretched it out a lot. This is a size medium. This is not very oversized on me, but I also feel like this is not the type of sweater to be very oversized. I don't know. It is pretty long and cozy. My Italian bind off for some reason was so tight, so I need to stretch out that as well. Are you proud of me? Are you proud of me? Please. With the sleeves, that I was like, should I just keep them all black? But I feel like then it looks even weirder just having the yoke. And I saw this one picture on Instagram of someone who had knitted the lumme, and it was so pretty. And she had just taken this chart on the sleeves, and that's just amazing because it kind of ties it all together, but it's not too, I don't know, I love it. However, this yoke I knitted with a 5.5 needle. The rest in stockinette is on a 4.5, and it looks pretty tight, so I did it again, but I felt way more confident on the sleeves. If you compare this to this is a lot looser on a 5.5 now that I felt more confident, and it just on camera it looks good, but in real life it looks a bit weird. I don't know, so I'm thinking I might frog it again because I've done it, this color work before. So I don't know if I would recommend this one as your first color work project if you've never done it, just because you will have to catch floats in some places. Yeah, I'm just turning the lumme here inside out so you can see my floats and judge them if you want to. I'd love some input. Like, it's stretchy, but it's not too stretchy. I don't know if it should be, but yeah, I want your opinion because I know we have some color work legends in here. But this is it. Yes. So this is a design by Sari Nordlund, who is a Finnish designer. And the way I was just like, okay, I need to knit something traditional for either Finland or Sweden for this trip. And I was like, I love this sweater. And when I read the description of it, that's when I decided to do this. But it said like, lumme is the Finnish word for this flower. I think we call it nekros. It's the flower on lakes that's on like a leaf. She's inspired by them and the contrast they create with the dark waters in Finnish forest, something like that. It was just very like, this is it, like inspired by Finnish water. I don't know. Yes, I've been seeing amazing versions of this one on Instagram when stalking the hashtag. But for me and what I wear, I think the black and white is a good way to go, where I would even wear this like not in the north of Sweden. I would wear this out, you know. Funnily enough, I did a color analysis and I'm in autumn and I'm not supposed to wear black, but I really like black, so I don't care. And the reason why I wanted to do this too is because I've had this year of knitting, right, with a lot of frogging, figuring things out, and I was like, okay, what is my biggest fear in knitting? Brioche, color work, and steeking. And I was like, okay, let me do one of them. And it's not like I haven't tried to do color work. I think I've tried 20 times this year. After meeting Father John Misty, I wanted to make a Father John Misty sweater. I made all these color work charts. I was working back and forth. Like, it would just never work out. It would always look weird. And I was like, okay, let me do like an in the round colorwork sweater with not a chart that I've made, that a professional has made, and see if it'll help me out and get rid of this fear of knitting colorwork. And it did. It worked. So the next thing we need to do is brioche and steeking. I think I will steek before I do any type of brioche, but that's a goal for next year in 2024. So yeah, very happy about this, and you will see me wear it in the Christmas vlog. There are some things I have not talked about. For example, the Hozier cardigan. It is a cardigan that I casted on for the Hozier concert that I went to in the end of November, and I have this one picture of me wearing it, and it has some things I want to switch up and fix. So I've currently casted on a second Hozier cardigan, and I don't know if I will come out with a pattern. If it is the way it is now, it is not good enough. And I will make a video next year more on that one, but it would take forever to get into it today. And it's my first time ever freehanding knitting, and it was so much fun. And I've written down everything I've done, but I just need to figure it out, and I have no idea how to grade. So maybe that's also a fear we can get over next year. But yeah, proud of myself for freehanding something, and I got very nice comments on it, but I'm scared around all of it. So we'll see how the second sample, is that what you would say, is gonna work out, because I'm tweaking some things, and we'll talk about it more next year. So what's coming up next is that yesterday I picked up my yarn for another test knit for Maria. The plan was actually not to test knit for a while, to maybe like focus on trying to freehand stuff, because it terrifies me, and like just continue to grow a bit in both my knitting. And like what I'm doing right now is really focusing on being uncomfortable and doing things that make me uncomfortable, because I'm scared of everything. So I'm trying to get over that. But then Maria had the freaking nerve to release this sweater, or not release, knit this sweater. The season sweater by Ulla Knitwear. It just got a name. Her first like cable, the Mamba dress is a cable thing, but like a cable sweater, and it is so gorgeous. And I was like, I guess I'm not gonna test knit that, but I just could not, you know, I just couldn't. We were brainstorming colors when we decided that I could test knit the season sweater, and it was obviously gonna be white, obviously for me, because most of my cable sweaters, I'm like, what do I wear the most? White. But I was like, let's not do that. And I was like, I've been thinking about like a navy blue. And the season sweater is knitted with 1 strand of twinny and 2 strands of silk mohair. And I was like, I want to do a navy blue, but I don't know if I'll like the white silk strand in like the cables. And she was like, dude, the color 100, like their mohair does not have like a white silk strand. It's like one color. And the reason why I've been thinking about a navy blue sweater is because ever since Petit Knit came out with the October sweater, I've been obsessed with it. Like that is the perfect blue, like navy blue, and I've never knitted with something navy blue. So that's why I was like, okay, let's do it, let's try it. And she was like, check out on Ravelry, like the mohair. So I looked at the mohair and I was like, maybe I see a silk strand in there, like I don't know. And I pressed projects, and I have this thing on Ravelry where I always click most favorite, like the project that has the most favorites, just to see like the best options, like the ones with pictures that have explained a lot of things. So that's a tip. And what is the first project that comes up with that color of Visage yarn we were talking about? The October sweater by Petit Knit. So for the October sweater, Petit Knit used 1 strand of silk mohair in the color 100 and 1 strand of twinny in the color 100. So that felt like a sign that the yarn we were talking about is the one I've always wanted and I'm inspired by right now. I don't know why I did not connect that. So yesterday I picked up my yarn for the season sweater. The difference is that the season sweater is knitted with 2 strands of mohair and 1 strand of the blue twinny, which is going to be so lovely. And twinny is yet another rustic yarn, but the thing with rustic yarn is that it's so nice to knit with, but when you block it and everything, it feels, even if it's like super rustic, when it's on me, it doesn't itch. Alpaca itches way more. And I think it's because alpaca has, and like mohair has these long fibers, right? That's like sitting and irritating your skin. I don't have the pattern for the season sweater right now. Maria's working on it. So either I'm gonna bring it with me to Luleå for over Christmas, or if the pattern does not come out before that, I will be in Luleå. So I will not have my yarn with me. So we'll see when I cast it on. But a cabled sweater, I haven't done one since my sweater number 15, is that what it's called? My green one that I never wear because the sizing is just a bit weird. So this one has 40 plus centimeters of positive ease. So I'm excited to drown in this like big, beautiful blue, navy blue, I don't know, cabled sweater. So I'm very, very excited for that. And once again, the yarn was gifted by Isager. There are just a couple things I want to mention. Is that I have some plans for next year. We'll talk about it more in the other video that I'm planning. Like one, for example, I'm knitting this mesh top that Look in My Holes by James Watts for a Cadia fan for a concert next year, because I'm going to Helsinki in May. So I'll see you, my little Cadia fans in Finland next year, and I'm knitting one for her, so she'll look lovely. So that's a plan I already have. I have my Eurovision knits for 2024, but I also just want to leave it open for anything that I might want to cast on myself, a new pattern that comes out. But I'm glad that I'm finishing all of my whips now. I just have the second sleeve and then we're done. But before I go, I just really want to shout out this one girl. I'm sorry if I mispronounce your name. Kedi? That's how my Swedish ass would pronounce it. But when I was going to Stockholm to see Karia Jere, she came to the yarn store. She was visiting Sweden and she brought me this gift. And it was so cute. Anna texted me like, when you come home, go to the yarn store and pick something up. And it was the most beautiful note and the most beautiful lavender sock yarn. Oh, it's so gorgeous. And I've been keeping it up in my new little yarn shelf. So thank you, Kitty. And I'm gonna be writing her Instagram name here. And she also got me this cutest, I thought, you know me, the cutest lavender sachet. I'm obsessed with lavender tattoo. I'm obsessed with lavender. I'm obsessed with lavender sachets. I've made 100 of them this summer from our lavender. I feel like you knew that. You knew that. And it is so cute. Like, and I'm gonna have it as a decoration for the rest of my life. And so just thank you. You did not have to do that. So shout out to you, girl. And hopefully we can meet sometime in the future. Thank you for watching. I'll see you soon. This time I promise. Okay? I'll see you soon. Thanks for keeping up with me and like letting me be rambly for a while. Mwah. See you. Bye. So when I was recovering from my surgery, I was just on my computer all day and I decided that I wanted to get a new yarn cabinet, because storing things in my old corner cabinet thing was just, it did not work. Just it took too much energy to get all the yarns to stand up, and I don't know, it was cute but it wasn't functional. And I was looking around and I ended up getting this one, and I've had this for a while and I've been telling myself I need to show you, but I've never done it. But I just got home from work. I'm a bit tired, if I can be honest, very tired. But we bought paint a couple of days ago, but I ended up never painting it. Here we are. And yeah, I've had this since March, April, and this does not scream me. I love vintage. Like, I had to switch. I bought this thing, this one, because I just couldn't stand the white one. And I have this closet. I would much rather have another type of closet, but yeah, I love vintage furniture. And this is just an IKEA Billy shelf, but it's amazing for like storing yarn. The yarn looks very cute in here. But I've been wanting a green cabinet since forever, a green yarn cabinet. But I've always been like, no, I can't. That's when I get my yarn room, when I move into my own place, yada yada. But life's too short. We can't. What if when that happens, I don't want a green cabinet anymore, and I've never had it, you know? So we're painting it green, and I'm gonna start today. This flower, she is dying, and she's been dead. I've been trying to save her multiple times. She kind of makes it, but I just don't think she likes being up there. But I'm gonna show you how it looks with and without the green flower, and how it looks so like the flower does everything here. Like it makes it like sink into the wall, you know, like it create, otherwise it just looks so out of place, this white cabinet. And the pictures help too. I'm probably still gonna keep the pictures up, we'll see, but I just needed to cover it up because if I didn't have the pictures or this green thing, it just looked like a white wall and it looked very out of place. I just want a dark green cabinet, and I always have, and it's gonna be darker than this. I haven't seen it like painted yet, just on a little color sheet thing, so we'll see. But I felt like that it had to be darker than the wall, otherwise it would be weird. So we're gonna see. So I just know I can take these out, I think. No, so yeah, color on the inside, on the outside, and then around here. So this will be interesting. But yeah, what's step one? I need to but step one is to remove everything, right? Everything inside and on the outside, so let's do that. So what I've done is I've taken all the hanks out of the cabinet, and I had like nothing to put my stuff in. I'm like, where am I gonna have my yarn? Cheers, by the way. Some bubbly on a Saturday evening. I hated how I said that. And I just grabbed the basket, a big one, where we have our blankets. And bro, this is so pretty. Let me show you. I wasn't planning on making it pretty, but oh my god, look at this yarn basket. It's when you do things like this, you realize how much freaking yarn you have. These are just hanks that I haven't kicked up. But I'm just gonna put some more yarn on here until I have no place, which is like right now. And yeah, we'll see how much I can fit. Otherwise, it will have to be on the floor.
I'm a huge fan. They haven't done that thing where they look away and just do some huge cash grab that makes me go, oh, but what about the whole layer that makes me feel like that everything isn't just...
Okay, so all the yarn is out of here. I can't take this one out, but I've taken out all the other things because I think I'm gonna have to paint them individually. All the pictures are off. So here we have my new whip. Shut up, I know I shouldn't cast anything else on, and yes, it's a winter clutch. Shut up. And then we have the pictures that I had. I'll go through them with you when I put them up again. Knitting books, my yarn bowl, sachets. You saw that I had one section with non-yarn, like knitting books and stuff, and I thought that was very pretty. And then we have the yarn. Doesn't look like a lot. This is all my scrap yarn. I had that in a bowl, a basket next to the cabinet. And then this is all my yarn. No, it's a piece in my room. It's decor. So when there's no, I could just not have an empty shelf. Are you kidding me? No. Hi and welcome to our extremely messy garage. I'm wearing the exact same clothes that I wore the other time I was painting. I thought this would take me like 2 days. I painted on Saturday, it's Monday. And I've just added the, a white paint, like a base coat, like with nail polish. That's what I've done on this one. Should I wait for my dad to tell me what to do? Probably. But also, I watched Barbie the other week, so female empowerment. By the way, my hair, I flat ironed it this morning, but this is what happens when you have curly hair. So don't say anything. That's the situation. My room is a mess because there's yarn everywhere, and I just want to put my green cabinet in. But tomorrow's Tuesday. I might be able to put the second coat because it needs 2 green coats tomorrow. But then we have the door. But as long as I can get this in and organize my yarn, maybe it's fine. This is the color. It's from Flygerfärg. He put it in the machine. It's green cabbage green. Grönkålsgrön 2508. I don't like it. It's too green. I thought it was gonna be darker. Ew! No way. Yeah, we'll see. Should I have brought something for my hair? Yeah, probably. Maybe my dad. This is my pen! Why? I take my pens all the time.
Hello, hello. Now or I'm filming.
Nej, du kan bättre än så.
Vad fint det blev.
Tycker du? Den här sidan...
Nu ser man här, nu är det vitt. Vitt. Grönt!
Och det är så professionellt alltså. Men om du kommer att kolla på denna sidan
Tittar man här, liksom, vilken finish.
Ja, jävlar.
Nu är det här första laget bara. Så det kommer inte bli så flammigt sen när det är färdigt.
Inte på mig då!
Du är så koncentrerad.
Ja. Fan. Oj,
Hej då.
Ni fick cykelkorgen lite på sig.
Nej!
Jo. Wearing my chunky dahlia. Good morning. It is the 10th of August, a Thursday, and we're in Öland, finally. Yesterday it was raining like crazy. There was a storm back in Gothenburg, but today it's more cloudy. It's not rainy, but it's not a sunny day. But I will take no rain instead of, yeah. And today we're going to 2 yarn stores that I'll try and film for you. And the first one I've been before in 2021, and that is, I'll put it here. You can find that yarn in a lot of places in Sweden, and I saw, I think, Bea a year ago talk about that yarn. It's a very rustic yarn from Öland sheep, so I'm gonna go there and show you how it is. And then we're going to a new open yarn store called Sticka på Allvar, which I've seen on Instagram, and I'm very excited. And I'm gonna buy yarn. I think my mom is coming. No. We're gonna buy yarn for a sweater I decided in the cart to cast on tomorrow. Do I need it? No. We live in this little... Do you see how cute it is? This is my vibe. I can't... It's so cute. And also, it has the perfect yarn cabinet. It's so pretty. I just can't. And the floors are like creaky old wooden floors. But yeah, so going to yarn stores today, and I'm just gonna show you a little bit. And now. Nu kom hon! Jag sa hela tiden, jag tror hon kommer snart. Och så bara...
Förlåt
då, det är ungefär att när jag blir...
for better days to come and carry us like wind in our sails. Hold on tight, I can smell the shore, it's right in front of us if we just hold on tight. This vision that I saw is getting closer every dawn. We are dreamers of the shore. 7 years now on this boat, and we all know where we belong. Just wait. For our home to show on the horizon, soon we'll be there. Hold on tight, I can smell the shore, it's right in front of us if we just hold on tight. This vision that I saw is getting closer every dawn. We are dreamers of the shore when we can't read the sky.